Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 72, and today we are starting things off without a mustache. As you guys know, I have been kicked out of Team Star, but Team Star wanted to keep hold of my mustache, so that has stayed with them. My body has moved with Team G, but I believe my mustache has actually been pasted onto the front of the Team Star headquarters, which is pretty hilarious. In a way, it kind of means that I'm still on both teams, in a kind of backwards, strange way. Anyway, we are going to be doing a bunch of redstone over at the Team G headquarters in today's episode, but the first thing that I want to do is just quickly check on something. Okay, so this is in the X direction, so this is facing the correct way. However, thank you to everyone who let me know what I had done wrong down in the comment section. Essentially, I'm missing a section of this build. And it's a very important section. It's kind of like the most important section, so I can't believe I missed that detail. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed to say it. So I missed out. I missed the block that you actually... I missed the block that you actually place this thing on. Which is, yeah, that's quite an important block. So yeah, let's quickly head over and give that a go. With that being said, still not 100% certain that this is going to function because, of course, you know, Hermitcraft server with all its entities is struggling just a tiny bit. All right, kicking it into gear. Well, it all looks correct. I don't know if this is doing what it needs to do. And... yeah, that didn't look so good. I'm starting to wonder if the Hermitcraft server is even picking up on these 0-tick pulses, right? So if we update this... Ah, yeah, it is. So that has just grown instantly. Okay, I wonder if my timings are wrong. I don't know what the issue could be here. One last try, just for luck. That just worked. So I guess that confirms it. It is definitely a connection to the server thing. There are far fewer people online right now than there was just a couple minutes ago, and that means that this machine now actually functions. I guess we probably should build it to the top then. I'll be totally honest, I think I could do this all day long. That is so satisfying to watch. But I probably shouldn't do that. I should probably get to work on building it, and I thought that would look good in the form of a third-person time-lapse. And while I do this third-person time-lapse, I thought I would talk to you about games in general. Because obviously, you know, I play a lot of video games, but I only really play Minecraft to a certain extent. Now, it used to be, back when I was younger, that I would play all sorts of different games. I would play Call of Duty, I would play Grand Theft Auto, all that sort of thing. And then I would make videos of Minecraft and only Minecraft. Whereas nowadays, I have to say, I mean, I don't know what it is, but those other games, to me, I just much prefer playing Minecraft. So I got Red Dead Redemption, okay? I bought it on the day of release. I was super excited for it. I played it on day one and then haven't touched it since. Not because it's a bad game, okay? I was really enjoying playing it, but I genuinely just prefer playing Minecraft. It just, for some reason, Minecraft just fits in with the way that I like to play, and I just love the total complete lack of story and the fact that you just do whatever you want in Minecraft and you can just be creative and yeah, you can just crack on with whatever. And there are very few games that kind of satisfy that. However, as I'm sure most of you are aware, Hytale has been announced, and so far it looks pretty promising. So as far as other games that I am actually excited for are concerned, Hytale is definitely one of them. And to be honest with you, I never play other games on my YouTube channel particularly, but Hytale definitely seems like the game that I would play if I was to move into something else other than Minecraft to go alongside it. So I guess watch this space. So there it is. We made it almost to the top of the last one, and then we began to run out of resources and things. So I might come back to that later on in the episode. If not, I'll come back to it in the next episode because that gets very repetitive and boring. Anyway, let's head over to the G-Team headquarters. But before we do, I mean, this wouldn't be a Mumbo Jumbo Hermitcraft episode without at least some form of guardian killing. And that is doing the trick. I have got to do some serious thinking about what I'm building here. serious thinking, because we actually want these traps to work. I think the first thing that I want to do is just create some dummy doorways. All the way through G-Team's headquarters, there'll be little doorways that look like they should be doors, but in fact will actually kill the player. And I think I've got an idea of how to do them quite nicely. So if we have this pressure plate right here, if you walk up to it, it instantly opens up and you fall through the bottom. Now, to be quite frankly honest with you, I mean, you'd be fairly hard pushed to actually fight against that one. Oh, I've broken it. But now that I've built it on the Hermitcraft server, it kind of doesn't work quite as well as I'd hoped, because it's very easy to just walk straight over it. I even tried extending it out a little bit, and it just doesn't quite do the trick, so I guess we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. It's funny really, I've built a ton of traps in my time, and yet right now I can't think of any good ones. I mean, to be honest with you, part of me thinks that I should just build things like this. Ah, that's actually not how that... I thought that worked differently. Okay, let's try that again. Oh my word. Now this is the one. Okay, yeah, that's pretty devastating. So, I think... I mean, we've got to build that, don't we? And I'm very happy to say that I've got lots of gunpowder here. So that should give us enough for 1 stack of TNT, 2 stacks, 3 stacks, I've lost count. Out of interest, can I actually get the TNT explosion without it destroying it? No. It still destroys everything. What about with this setup here? That was very interesting. So if I was just your average hermit walking through in full iron armor... What? That really did nothing. And what if it's out of the water? What? So that's really just basically destroying everything, but doing literally no damage. Let's give it a go in concrete, which is what G-Team headquarters is made out of. That was a little bit more promising. The hole isn't ridiculously big. I also chucked some lava in there just for good measure. I've forgotten I was in survival mode, so I'm about to die again. But that killed us really, really fast. Okay, that's what we're going to do. And you know what? We can forget about the lava too. I did a little bit more work on the designs after that, and I found that if I utilized obsidian, not only would it do more damage to the player, but of course it would do less damage to the G-Team headquarters, which is an added bonus. So let's grab some of that. Finally, we're on to something now. So I filled up all of the top section, and I've now just moved into this area down here, and I'm creating a bunch of very nice looking fake doorways. I mean, that is a convincing looking doorway. I would go to walk through that, and I would get my legs blown off. Okay, I think... Was there an item there? I'm confused as to how that just happened. I really do wish that I wasn't terrible at Minecraft sometimes. I mean, seriously. Seriously, I mean... Oh. So, I guess that teaches me to place pressure plates underneath items that are sat on top of the block. I mean, what are the chances of that? I was just saying that we were done, and then I go and destroy it. Anyway, this has now been put in place once again. I've actually improved it a little bit. That legitimately looks like a door. So that's definitely going to catch someone out by surprise. But I would say that the base is pretty much primed and ready. I mean, we've got plenty of those things lying around. So I think I'm going to move away from traps once again, and we're going to get back to work on something in the base. And that something is, of course, the chorus plant farm. I can't help it. I've been thinking about it all day. I don't know what it is. There's something about that. I really, really want to get it finished. So I'm just in the process of crafting up a bunch more observers because, yeah, we have bought every single one of scars in the shop. So I think that's an extra 2.5 stacks. What was that noise? It was a bunch of phantoms, and they proceeded to absolutely destroy me. So here I am back over at the chorus plant farm, and you'll be happy to see that we have gone right the way up to the top. Now this is quite the structure. If we look at this thing, firstly, that is really interesting. I'm not going to show too much of it, but that looks pretty wild. But look at that! Yeah, that's a pretty serious looking redstone contraption. I mean, what Y level are we on? So that's Y level 200. I mean, obviously, you know, we'll build up the other half, and then we'll see how efficient it is. And if it's still not that efficient, then of course we can extend it upwards. But still, I'm loving the way this looks. This is so over the top for a chorus plant farm. One of the most useless items in Minecraft. I can't think of a more useless... Well, actually, no. I totally can. There's plenty of useless items in Minecraft. Anyway, I've just gone away. I've gathered up a whole bunch more resources. I'm actually running really low on stone again because I just gave all of my stone to Iskal. Not my brightest move. So I've had to go out and basically mine all of these stone bricks right here. But I think we should have enough to get to the top on this side as well. At least, fingers crossed. And you know what? I think this will work well in the form of a third-person time-lapse. Let's do this. So, yeah, this time-lapse is a little bit short-lived. I so thought we were ready for this. I thought we were going to just smash on through, get it right the way up to the top, and get this chorus plant farm finished. I was very, very excited to get it done, but then, as this super fast time-lapse will show you, yeah, we didn't really get very far. We didn't really get very far at all, to be quite frankly honest with you, and that is because of a lack of redstone, of all things. We have all other resources, but redstone we seem to be struggling with at the minute. So, you know, before the time lapse, I was talking about how happy I was. I thought we had all of the resources that we needed. Well, we're now fresh out of redstone blocks, and redstone blocks are pretty essential to the build, and I have literally none left. No redstone, no nothing. I thought we were onto a winner there. I mean, come on, let's just see. I must have bought all of them. There's no way that I wouldn't have done. Yes, yeah, of course I did. Of course. I think what I'm going to do is I've done a lot of Minecraft today, so I think I'm actually just going to chill out above my creeper farm for tonight. We're going to get tons upon tons of gunpowder that I can provide to G-Team for all of the TNT-based traps that they're going to need. And I will catch you all tomorrow morning. 14 hours of totally unsuccessful AFKing later, I thought it would be a good idea to actually start moving these phantoms around. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 phantoms in total. And they have got to make their way down to here. This is where they actually need to be. So I guess I could probably just drop them through. Nice! Not the best of starts. Not the best. Oh, that's even worse. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna have to boat my way back over there. I've just told Doc, because he's working over at Team Star, that it would be really nice if he could unload the G-Team headquarters quickly, so that my items hopefully don't despawn. But I don't actually know what Stress Monster is doing. She could actually be in the G-Team HQ, which could be an issue. I'm hoping I remember where the items actually are. They should be somewhere in this room, I'm hoping? I mean, okay, there's my stuff. Let's not fall off the edge. Okay, we made it. That was slightly terrifying. Now, transporting these is going to be a little bit tricky because, of course, I can't actually nudge them, as then I take damage. So I don't really fancy dying again. I'm hoping that this idea, which, what is that balanced on? Okay. My word, what's going on? Okay, so that is like a safe landing pad. Right, that's good. So I guess we're gradually going to have to move them down into that room down at the bottom there. Come on. Yeah. Oh, why does it always do that? You know what I have just thought? I could drop them right the way through into the room where we actually need them. And that would cut out a bunch of the steps, because right now I'm going to move them here, then move them to there, and then drop them down into the room. I think just go right the way. Oh, it's scary though. Another thing is, that Enderman really needs to go, because he could step on one of these pressure plates and blow up the entire place. Now, if this doesn't work, I sincerely apologize. that worked. So that is going to be our transportation method for the phantoms. Okay, might have to replace with buttons. Anyway, exploding doors aside, this is the final phantom to get the moving treatment. So that goes down there, and then it falls right the way down through to the bottom. Now, I had to install a ladder so that I could easily get between the layers because flying just wasn't really working too well. But if we pop down to the bottom here, we should see that, yeah, these guys are all down here, and they all made it safely, and none of them died. Kind of proud of myself there. Now, I want to make sure that we absolutely nail this. I don't want anything to go wrong, so I'm going to do a little bit of testing as to how we can release these phantoms in a kind of correct manner, I guess, without killing them and with it working correctly. I think I've got a pretty good idea of how to do it. Right, so what happens if we just have phantoms in here? First off, can they get through that slab hole? No, they can't. And then if we release this, we don't really show any signs of wanting to go down particularly. But I guess if there's a player down there, then they will try and attack it. I'd like to launch them down somehow, maybe using slime blocks. And activate. I mean, it kind of works, but they kind of resisted it a little bit. I don't know if that... They didn't seem to get launched at all. But, I mean, I'm guessing if I'm in game mode survival... Even then they don't seem that fast. They actually seem to be stuck. Oh, no. So one of them got out. This probably isn't going to end too well for me. But no, they're definitely very stuck. So I've spoken to Grian and I've proposed that we do it in the floor instead. Which I hope will be a tiny bit better. I mean, obviously these guys... Wow, they really... I mean, I know they're burning alive, okay? So that's not helping. But they're kind of getting stuck on one another. It's like... Yeah, it's like they're kind of bumping into one another, and that means that, on average, they make 0 progress. This is not good. I guess what we can do is we can keep them all separate, so then they'll all be in separate little chambers, and then they'll all be released all at once. I mean, I'm kind of running out of ideas here. What on earth is going on? I mean, really, what is going on? Is his wings getting stuck on the edges? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up all of my holes, get rid of the ladder and everything like that. I'm going to speak to some people that know what they're doing, and then we'll come back to that later. But despite that slight failure with the phantoms and everything, we have done pretty well today. We've made some good progress on the chorus plant farm. We have made good progress with the phantoms, and we've also installed a bunch of traps that are going to be very successful. I mean, we can see how much damage they do from our misfire there. So hopefully the members of Team Star should fall foul to some of these things that I've constructed, because, I mean, that looks like a convincing door. That looks like the sort of place that would have a flag behind it. So hopefully we can manage to cause some damage here. Anyway, I do hope that you enjoyed this episode on the Hermitcraft server. If you did, please also hit that like button. If you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. Oh, and filming channel stuff, you know what to do. Link will be on the end screen.